want to be sharing with every person on earth that, see my nose, I got it done. Paid for it. Hello YouTube, it's been a while since I sat down and made a video. I started this year very well. I published my first video of 2023 and then I was gone for pretty much the whole month. But now I have a reason to be back because it's been exactly 6 months since I got my nose done. It's her. She is gorgeous. We love her. I am still getting a lot of questions about my surgeon, the clinic that I chose, how has it been since that last video. So I was like, okay, you know what, I need to sit down and update you guys. But I also don't have that much to say. Not much has changed since my 1 month post-op video, to be honest. So I will try to be very quick but also as informative as possible. So if you've never watched my videos before and this is the first video you're watching on my channel, and you're curious about my nose job experience, definitely check out my vlogs from my nose job experience in Turkey and also my 1 month post-op video, because I share everything there and I just don't want to repeat myself, especially for those who are already aware of all those things and know where I went, how I went, etc. So I'm not gonna go through it all again. I'll just say the surgeon that I chose is Dr. Samil Sahin and the clinic is ClinicHub. How I found about them is YouTube. I found about nose jobs in Turkey actually from YouTube, and ever since then I wanted to get it done in Turkey. But then also ClinicHub I found because of a lot of girls on YouTube sharing that they were going with ClinicHub, and I did my research, reached out to them. They sent me available surgeons and I chose my surgeon, Dr. Shamil. So a lot of people were also asking me about the price. I paid 2,480 euros and that is including my partner coming with me. I think without my partner it was like 2,300 something euros. So I just added a bit more for my husband to come with me, because I don't recommend, by the way, to go on your own. Definitely take someone to be there for you, for mental support, physical support, because you never know how it is gonna be for you. So I think my husband being there and taking care of me was so important, because for years I was just like, if needed I'll go by myself, but now I see how ridiculous that thought was. Cheers to those who were able to go on their own and didn't need anyone. I just think it would be so much harder for me to be on my own without anyone there to support me in a foreign country. So definitely recommend you to take someone with you. But I also know that my doctor's prices have increased recently. The reason why I know that, I'll get to it, but it's pretty common that every year they increase prices, especially as they become more and more popular. So I think you should just reach out to ClinicHub yourself and they will let you know everything you need to know. My experience was honest. I was not paid to say anything, so I have no reason to lie, but I honestly had great customer support, patient support from ClinicHub. Even recently, when it was my 5 months post-op, I had the initial coordinator that I was texting from the very beginning. Her name is Tuba. I hope it's okay that I'm sharing her name, but I just want to give her shout out because she was really awesome. Like, before surgery I had so many questions and she was always like helpful and responding to everything and was clear in how everything is gonna go. So for me, that was my experience and it was really great. So she reached out to me, which is really sweet of her to even check up on me, that, you know, they care about their customers. And I don't know how it is for everyone. I cannot say like everyone had the best. I'm just speaking about myself, and I just really had great experience with everyone from ClinicHub team, by the way. shout out to everyone. So now let's talk about before and after, and am I happy with the result? Now 6 months post-op, you can tell already that my nose is much less swollen than it was. But also, as I was saying in that video, every day is different. I have days when my nose is even less swollen than now, so I know that it is swollen because I've seen it even skinnier, which is the main reason for my nose job. And I will put side to side my before and after so you can see as I speak about it. So my main issue was the width of my nose. It was quite wide, so that was my main reason. I know a lot of girls, especially me being Azerbaijani, you know, a lot of girls go because of their hump or the nose is too long. My main reason was that it was wide. I have that from my mom, who is Kazakh, so I have this Azerbaijani Kazakh mix, which is like Asian Caucasian mix, right? So my Asian genetics is definitely my wide nose, or my previous natural wide nose, and it was also crooked to the side, something that actually people are like, no it wasn't, and I'm like, it clearly was. And like, especially now before and after, I see that it was a great decision. And you can see how my nose got so much smaller, like in terms of width, so it is tiny now, you know, which makes me so happy. Like, that was my main concern. That was like something I couldn't stand. Actually, my profile, I never hated. I did want to kind of change my hump and also the tip of my nose. I had bulbous nose and droopy tip, so those things I wanted to change, right? Nothing about the length of the nose, like to the side, nothing. I really like that, you know. I still wanted to have a zeri nose, just more like slim and straight. No, actually I think now it's not straight, it's ski slope, so slopey nose, which I didn't even know that I want, but I got it and I'm like, oh my god, I love it actually. So thanks to my doctor for actually doing that. But I need to be honest with you guys. Now 6 months post-op, and looking back, I can tell that I had body dysmorphia at some point after my nose job. I was so obsessed with my nose for so many years. First of all, because there was a reason, right? It was big and it was getting bigger as I was aging. I'm now 27, so I got this nose job done when I was 27. But I started noticing how, like from the age of 23, I think 24, I started noticing that my nose was really growing, which is the truth. Like, our nose and our ears continue growing our whole life, so I'm not tripping. And I wasn't happy with my nose even more than when I originally wanted to get my nose done when I was 18. So as I was getting older and older, I was like more and more concerned about my nose, and like every time I would take a photo, I was looking at my nose, only my nose, my nose, my nose, my nose. And then as I got my nose done, it was still swollen. By the way, if you watched that vlog, someone commented that I didn't look happy with my result, because I wasn't really happy with my result because I was still swollen. And as I said, my main concern was how wide my nose was. So obviously, as I was swollen post-op, it looked like my previous nose to me because it was swollen. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even done with healing. Like, I still need, I heard some people saying even like 2-3 years to see your final result. Like, it takes a long time, especially if you have thick skin, and I do have thick skin. You can see my sides. This is just my skin. This is how thick my skin is, you know? Not the thickest, but also not the thinnest. So that's just, I'm keeping it real, okay? As I got my nose done, I was crying because it was still swollen. I told you guys in that 1 month post-op as well, I was not happy with my result. But then I think things started changing, as like I would have good days when it was less swollen. By the way, in that video it was less swollen, and so I was like, oh my god, it looks great, right? Because it was not as swollen. But then there would be days when it was still swollen, and the thing is, it wasn't just swollen like this, but it was like the tip being swollen was making it projected outside, like outwards more, so it looked longer than my previous nose, because I had droopy tip before, and to the side it was just like straight nose with a hump, so you wouldn't tell that the tip is kind of projected outwards, you know? So I was not used to that nose, and now it's not that long, but I'm still hoping it's the swelling, it will even get smaller. But I'm gonna talk about it. I shouldn't say that actually, because I'm trying to deal with that body dysmorphia, and like you just heard my unfiltered comment about my nose again. But then first month, second months were the hardest in terms of everything, and then finally third month, fourth month is when I was happier and happier with my nose, and also it was not hurting anymore, because you know when you get it done, it's still like every time I would be walking, I literally felt the pulsation in my nose, like pum pum pum, like every step I would take I just felt it in my nose, and it was just like, oh my god, so crazy. I slowly start feeling more and more of my nose. The only part that I think I still don't feel is my tip. Like I touch it and it's like this feeling like when you sit on your leg for too long and you know it goes to sleep. So that's the feeling that I have in the tip of my nose, but already these sides I can feel, which a few months ago I still couldn't feel this even. So now just this and this, like somewhere from here till here, the tip of my nose is still quite numb. So which is the case, it's totally fine, right? But what I started noticing is that I was really obsessed with my nose. Every day I would take photos side, straight, another side, a lot of videos, being unhappy that my nose was still swollen, that it was long, that you know I still need to get it done, that my tip is swollen. So I was even that obsessed that about a month or so ago I started texting ClinicHub, actually my coordinator Tuba. I was asking her if like in a year I won't be happy with my results still, because I'm still like, I'm happy, but as I said, my tip, I was like obsessed with my nose, so like I just needed to, I guess, get reassurance. So I was like, what if I won't be happy with my tip? And she's like, then you can get tipplasty, sure, no problem. And then she told me the price, and I realized that my doctor is increasing prices, which they told me, and I was like, I asked for discount because it's my second nose job, which I'm not going to get a second nose job, but I'm being honest with you guys, I did ask for like what are the chances of second nose job, so if I won't be happy. And it was also happening when I was like dealing with a lot mentally. So I feel like being obsessed with my nose was also not just being obsessed with my nose, but kind of my response to whatever is going on in my life. Let me just focus on my nose so I have some control over my life, if that makes sense. So realizing how absurd the situation is and how I don't want to get a second nose job, because like I just don't want to go through it again. And I'm not saying if I will at some point, I might, but I don't want to. But like I think like I'm really so grateful for my doctor who left it as natural as possible, that you cannot tell that I had a nose job, but also it's like the nose that I always wanted. But now that I got it done, I want it even smaller, which also tells you I'm going crazy, which also I don't want it smaller anymore, because I went to my therapist and psychotherapist and I told her about it, and I was like, well, I'm also like becoming obsessed overall with my body, with my face, everything. I'm also thinking, what else could I get done? Like maybe boobs, which maybe boobs, like I mean, who doesn't want big boobs, right? But I feel like ever since I got my nose done, I was like, okay, I need to fix everything, I need to like get something else done. And I just realized how like unhealthy all of that was, and I cannot do that to myself. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to lose touch with reality and the reflection I see in the mirror. So I asked for help from my psychotherapist, which she totally like understood what I was dealing with, which is amazing. And she gave me like tips how to do that. If you guys care, I can make a podcast maybe talking about it, but it's not related at all to plastic surgery or like self-development. It's like completely different. Let me tell you quickly to go to the dance classes, which I started going to strip dance to connect with my feminine goddess, okay, divine feminine. And also she told me to start some beauty courses to learn to work with other people's faces, to see other faces, because I'm so obsessed with my own face. So that I'm still planning to do. I am really interested in doing eyebrow lamination, just like to learn something new. So I'm gonna let you know how that goes, but I can like totally make a podcast about this topic. Not the whole podcast like episode, because I plan to start a podcast, so let's hope I will push through and make that happen. So I just wanted to really share with you guys that getting a nose done, it's not only about like physical outcome, like it might fuck you up mentally, which I think it kind of did fuck me up, because I was like texting my coordinator and asking her, when can I get a nose job done again? You know, I was constantly checking, and I'm not saying I was completely crazy, because it was longer and it's getting less long, but it was longer because it was just straight out of surgery. Like even 5 months is not enough, you know, even 6 months is not enough. What you see now, like I still am not healed fully. Like we need to wait maybe a year, maybe 2, maybe more. You know, I watched one girl talking about her plastic surgery, and she said that nose job took her actually 3 years to see the final result. So it's really different for everyone, and I think maybe that deserves its own topic, like a video about like what to know about nose job actually. And I didn't expect like mental part of it to ever affect me, because I always thought once I get it fixed I'll be happy, and then I realized that I was happy and I wanted more happiness, and in my head I was like, in order to be happier I need to keep cutting it, I need to keep making it smaller, shorter, like just erase my nose perfectly fine, you know. So I think realizing that those toxic thoughts were in my head and were ruining my self-esteem, my life, I think it was very important. And if you're watching this and you're going through that, ask for help, because it's really difficult to deal with it on your own. So it's like important for me, I guess, to kind of grow into my new nose and understand that the change happened, and to see myself how I actually look like, because I think sometimes having body dysmorphia, you don't see yourself how you actually look like, you see yourself as you think you look like. So it's really difficult, it's a struggle. I don't know how many people go through it. Like I didn't hear a lot of girls on YouTube talk about it. Everyone's like, I'm happy with my result, it changed my life, and it did. Like I became much more confident, and everyone actually like around me noticed it, how I'm like owning myself, you know. I'm happy with myself, but then it's kind of like, well, now I'm happy, and then there's a thought, what if I get another nose job and I'll be even happier, and I'll be prettier, and I'll be better? And it's just like, no, you need to stop yourself and say, no girl, like you gotta stop, you gotta focus on something else, which I'm doing now. So let's hope that no more nose jobs and I'll just be happy in my own skin. But all of that not to say that my result is not great. You can judge yourself, you can see before and after that it is great, and everything that I wanted was done. But as everything was done, now I'm like, oh, maybe I should make it smaller. So I don't want to say my doctor did something wrong or I had bad result. No, that's the thing. I just want to explain that you can have the best surgeon, but if your head is not healthy, if you're not happy with yourself, within yourself, no surgery is gonna heal that and help that. So that's something I wanted to shed light on and to be honest about. Now we're almost close to the end, and I just wanted to talk about pain. So I did share everything in my previous videos, but I think pain goes away after 2 months completely. You forget that you had a nose job, although having this part of your face feeling numb is a weird feeling. And for a while I wasn't able to even move my upper lip, like do this. Even now doing this, I feel a bit like tension here, obviously, you know, like I cannot move this side of my nose, my face, so my nose is just like on its own, but at least I can do this. Before, my upper lip was completely not moving, and that's also something to be aware about, because oh my god, like I need to make a video, I think, nose job essentials and what to do before your surgery, because I'm just gonna say this, I should have gone to the dentist, because after I got a nose job my tooth started hurting, and I cannot go to the dentist. I couldn't, because my mouth wasn't opening, because after the nose job you cannot really open your mouth that wide, because as I said, this area just becomes numb. You can't, it hurts, it's weird. So I was just waiting for my nose to heal and for my mouth to start opening fuller. So please consider that before your nose job. Go to the dentist, get your teeth checked, get them healed, the best care, everything, and only then go for a nose job, because no one someone told me this and I was like, oh my god, what are the chances of getting my tooth pain right after the surgery? Regarding the healing and after pain, I really think I should just save it for my nose job essential video, because I have a lot to say and a lot of like medicine names, but I also don't want to be promoting medicine. You should consult your doctor, but I can share what I was using. But let me just say about my scar healing, you cannot even tell I got a nose job because the scar is barely, like, it's not noticeable, right? Like a little bit here, but like it's just, I thought it's gonna be so noticeable, it's gonna be like visible. I was so worried. Also, I was so worried that the whole experience will be so painful, and I don't want to say go get a nose job because it's not painful, but really it wasn't as painful as I was preparing myself for it to be. It was more uncomfortable than painful, because I think you sleep through all of it, you know, the surgery, you don't remember it, you don't know how it was, and so it's just that first week is the most difficult, but then it just like, it's fine, you know. So I think like I thought pain would be much worse than it was, but as I said, the aftercare, the discomfort, not being able to go to, like, let's say a cosmetologist, esthetician to touch your nose. Even when I get my eyebrows laminated, I'm like, I had a nose job, can you please like be careful, because you know sometimes they touch your nose when they're trying to do your eyebrows, and I'm like, no. And even I got my, as you can tell, I changed my hair color. I got my hair done recently, and the hairdresser, like, I don't know, he just touched my nose because he was cutting my hair like this, and I was like, literally so painful. Like, I don't know, it's not like painful, but it was like, oh my god, what just happened? And he was like, is everything okay? I'm like, hey, yeah, because you don't want to be telling everyone I got my nose done, so like, please be careful. Probably I should, but it's just like, you know, people start asking then, oh really, where, why, oh, you know, it's just like, I don't want to be sharing with every person on earth that, see my nose, I got it done, paid for it. So I hope I didn't forget anything I said. This video is not going to be as long, and as always I talk a lot, everything is long. I don't like that about myself, but also it's kind of like, let me be me, okay? Like, I'm keeping it real, and that just comes with it, talking a lot, okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, click that bell to get notified about my new videos. Leave the comment down below letting me know your thoughts about plastic surgery, but also if you're mean, don't, because I think YouTube will block you, because I don't think YouTube these days lets you harass people, which is a good thing, you know. But also, like, if you're against plastic surgery, why are you watching this video? This video is only for those baddies who wanted an update, who were asking me. So here you go, here's my honest experience. Once again, thanks to my plastic surgeon, because a lot of people also asking me about my plastic surgeon. He created this beauty, and the more time that passes, the more I'm in love with her, especially with this tip. Like, how cute is it? Like, my previous nose never had like defined tip, it was just like swollen always, because, you know, Asian nose that I had. So I'm just like happy. And by the way, no, they didn't put cartilage or anything. I had enough bones to create this nose, but also, like, I don't know how he did it, but he did it, you guys. I'm just really happy and obsessed, and hopefully we'll heal mentally to never consider second nose job. I love you guys. We'll see you in my next video. Bye. Woo.